Hello friends, let's take a journey back in time, way back, to a magnificent place in Africa. This land was called the Kingdom of Kush. It existed thousands of years ago in what is now Sudan. Imagine a bustling kingdom along the mighty Nile, full of incredible sights and sounds. Kush had powerful pharaohs. They even ruled Egypt for a while. They built pyramids of their own, mysterious and beautiful, standing against the bright blue sky, a center of trade, power, and culture. The people of Kush were brilliant and skilled, master architects, building grand temples and palaces, expert artisans, pottery, intricate jewelry, iron weapons. Iron was the super technology of its day. Kushite blacksmiths mastered it. Among the groups living there were the ancestors of the Akans. So, if Kush was such a wonderful and powerful place, why would anyone want to leave? Well, friends, change is a natural part of life, and even great kingdoms are not immune to it. Over hundreds of years, the world around Kush began to transform. One of the biggest reasons for the migration was the environment. The climate, which had once been lush and fertile, started to become drier and drier. The Sahara Desert, which was once much smaller, began to expand southward, slowly creeping into the lands of Kush. This process, called desertification, made it much harder to grow crops and find fresh water for people and their animals. The mighty kingdom of Kush, after centuries of glory, began to weaken. New, powerful kingdoms rose up around it, like the kingdom of Aksum in modern-day Ethiopia. Around the 4th century AD, Aksum invaded Kush, leading to the collapse of the central government and a period of great uncertainty. With the kingdom in disarray, life became more dangerous. So the Akan ancestors found themselves at a crossroads. It was a combination of these powerful forces, changing climate, dwindling resources, and increasing conflict, that pushed them to begin their great migration. Now, imagine packing up everything you own, saying goodbye to the only home you've ever known, and starting a journey on foot across a whole continent. This is what the Akan ancestors did. Their migration wasn't a quick trip. It was an epic journey over many generations. It wasn't a single straight line, more like a series of long, meandering stops and starts. Groups would travel for a while. They'd settle in a new area for a few years or even a few decades. Then a new generation would continue the journey westward, always searching for that perfect place to call home for good. Their path led them across the vast Sahel, a semi-arid region just south of the Sahara. Picture wide grasslands with scattered trees, stretching to the horizon. This was a challenging environment to cross. They had to be expert navigators, using the sun, the stars, and the patterns of the land. They traveled in large family groups or clans. After centuries of movement, the various Akan groups finally began to arrive in lush green lands and gold-rich territory, what is now Ghana and Côte d'Ivoire. It must have felt like paradise after a long journey across drier parts of Africa. Dense rainforests, flowing rivers, fertile soil, perfect for farming yams, plantains, and other crops. Most importantly, this new home was incredibly rich in gold. They discovered gold dust in rivers and gold nuggets in the earth, a resource that would shape their destiny. They didn't find an empty land. The area was already home to other peoples, and the Akans had to negotiate their place. Some groups, like the Fante, settled the coast, fishermen and traders. Others moved deeper into the forest. They formed small states and settlements that grew more powerful, and most famously, the Ashanti Empire. The epic journey from Kush and the golden age that followed are not just stories from a history book. They are the living, breathing heart of Akan culture today. When you look at the traditions of the Akan people, you can see echoes of their ancient past everywhere. For example, the Akan concept of matrilineal inheritance. Think about the famous kente cloth with its brilliant colors and intricate patterns. Adinkra symbols are visual icons. The Sankofa bird looks backward while moving forward, teaching us to learn from the past to build a better future. The golden stool of the Ashanti. It reminds them that strength comes from unity. We can appreciate resilience. It's the story that tells us who we are.